So today we will tackle about non-selective scattering, but before that, let me present to you our learning target. I can discuss the concept of non-selective scattering and diffraction. I can appreciate the significance of non-selective scattering and diffraction in our daily lives through sharing one's ideas, and I can create a mind map summarizing my learning in today's discussion. So I hope at the end of our discussion, we will attain our learning target. So, non-selective scattering. Non-selective scattering gets its name from the fact that all wavelengths are scattered about equally. This type of scattering causes fog and clouds to appear white in our eyes because blue, green, and red light are all scattered in approximately equal quantities. May scattering sometimes is referred to as a non-molecular scattering or also known as aerosol particle scattering, where many essentially spherical particles with diameters approximately equal to the wavelength of the incident ray may be present. Scattering occurs mostly in the lower portions of the atmosphere where larger particles are more abundant and dominates when cloud conditions are overcast. Based from the picture below, we can see that white light is scattered in all directions, and cloud droplets scatter all wavelengths of visible light, creating the appearance of white clouds. Just like what is in the picture, we can see that it is a May scattering, wherein some lights penetrates to cloud base, and all white lights are scattered in all directions. Young's double-slit interference is pure wavelength light sent through a pair of vertical slits is diffracted into a pattern on the screen of numerous vertical lines spread out horizontally. Without diffraction and interference, the light would simply make two lines on the screen. Just like what in the example below, we can see that there are two double-slit interference, wherein the two slits provide two coherent light sources that then interfere constructively or destructively. Thomas Young used sunlight, where each wavelength forms its own pattern, making the effect more difficult to see. When waves encounter obstacles, the bending of waves around the edges of an obstacle is called diffraction. Just like the example below is an example of diffraction, where waves pass through an obstacle. Diffraction is the spreading out of the waves as they pass through an aperture or around objects. It occurs when the size of the aperture or obstacle is of the same order of magnitude as the wavelength of the incident wave. There are two types of diffraction. First is Fresnel diffraction, second is Fraunhofer diffraction. If light incident on a slit ab is coming from an infinite distance, the distance between obstacle A and screen C is infinite. The diffraction is called Fraunhofer diffraction. In Fraunhofer diffraction, the incident waves should have plane wave fronts. Second is Fresnel diffraction, when the distance between a slit ab and source of light S, as well as the between slit AB and the screen is finite. The diffraction is called Fresnel diffraction. The Fresnel diffraction, the waves are either spherical or cylindrical. That's all for our discussion for today. Thank you and bye.